reflect those of the station or iHeartMedia. Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answers to the human experience? Welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, a 2-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. Spiritually Speaking with Sarah is presented by the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. For the next 2 hours, listen, call in, and watch Sarah live on Periscope and Facebook, and share love and light.
Yes, indeed, I am, and I am spiritually speaking to all of you here, live on WBZT iHeartRadio, 95.3 FM, WWNN 1470 AM. And tonight we're spiritually speaking to all of you, and, well, we're answering your questions. What's heavy on your mind? You know that song, You Were Always on My Mind? Well, when most of us have things we have to navigate in life, what we do is we think about it, think about it, think about it, think about it. So what are you thinking about? What are you focusing on? Where can you use a bit more guidance? Tonight, we're dialing up to the heavens. And we're going to get God on the line. We're going to get your angels on the line. By golly, I think I'll get a spirit guide or two to pop on in. And we're going to have a fun time navigating life's twists and turns. Are you twisting? Are you turning? Do you sometimes feel like you're on the Indy 500 just picking up speed, driving around a turn, and you ain't got no brakes? Holy crow, what are we going to do? We have to just ease off the gas. And we kind of have to let the car just kind of go with the flow. Sometimes in life we've got to go with the flow, even if we don't necessarily know where we want to go. We need to trust that the momentum that we've built is going to take us somewhere that we can get our footing. And we have to trust that we're going to arrive perfectly. It's when we start to worry, when we start to overthink things, overanalyze things, make ourselves feel so bent out of shape, that we begin to disconnect from that inner knowing, that wisdom from the heavens that's always prompting us, always guiding us, always giving us that nudge. Hey, look over here. Pay attention. Did you hear what that person said? It's a clue. You know, sometimes I think the universe is just waiting for Vanna White to just turn a letter and spell out a word because they're not getting it. So we need to train our angels and our guides, and we need to train ourselves to listen for the promptings of Spirit and get them to literally turn the letters. Yes, there are days that even they say to me, "Oh my God, it's a Sarah spiritual special moment. Did she really miss that clue? We gave it to her pure and simple." I'll give you an example. I was all set to go to a wonderful event. I was really blessed to go to a pageant, and my sister's niece, Amelia, is in a Miss Junior Teen pageant, and she's Miss Kansas. And so she was so excited to be participating, and I said to the heavens, I said, "Okay, I need a sign. I need to know you guys are with me. Come on, Mom. Come on, Dad. Come on, Grandma. Come on, Grandpa. Show me." And you know me, the way they show me is they show me the money with a number, right? So I've been waiting for this number to come. And I said, "Well, Nonny," which is what I call my grandmother in Italian, I said, "Nonny, I really need you to show me the money." Well, she did, but she didn't give me the number that I wanted. She gave me her birthday. But Jiminy Crickets, I heard them, so that's all that really matters. They heard me, I heard them. But shucks, I didn't play that. I even played my dad's birthday, which is 7/20. I thought, for sure he's going to want to be in on the money, and he's going to want to be part of the experience. And you who listen to the show know it's not about winning, although that's always lovely. It's about them giving me a sign. We have an established connection that lets me know they heard me. I could be driving, and all of a sudden I hear the voice say, "Look over there." And there's a number that means something to me. And then I know who's with me. So how do your spirit guides talk to you? How do the angels talk to you? And how do you know that you know like you know like you know deep in your soul that you heard them and that they heard you? Because it's always there for us to notice. It's just that we've got to get in sync. You know, life has a rhythm. And we want to be in the rhythm of life. And the spirit world, they got rhythm. Matter of fact, they got more rhythms than all of us. And they're always in this flow and nudging and creating an opportunity for us. And it's a dance. It's a dance of joy. It's a dance of harmony. It's a dance of love. And when we're in that spectacular dance, well, we can feel we're on the right track. So if you're feeling a little disconnected, if you're unplugged, we're going to focus on plugging you in tonight. Even if we don't get to your call tonight, if we don't answer your question on Facebook, because I've got Facebook over here, they're going to be sending me Facebook messages. We've got a whole new setup here tonight. We're just playing with technology. And I have all my callers on the board. And you know I have a surprise guest that we're going to be showing in just a minute. So we've got all this going on. So I want to know that we're all in sync. So if I don't answer your question tonight, shoot it on Facebook, because I'm going to answer the question. You know I'm up to all hours after the show answering questions. You know we're in this together. But let's pave the way for us to establish this direct connect with Spirit. And speaking of direct connect, they're always with you. So you don't have to look very hard. And don't second guess what you know that you know. Because it's always there. It's always connected to you. You're the one who keeps pulling the plug. It would be like, "Honey, the television isn't working," and you're holding the plug in your hand. That's what happens. They're like, "Of course it's not working. Of course you don't have us. You unplugged us," because you're concerning yourself with something going on in the world that is an utter distraction. A complete utter distraction. I spoke with someone earlier today, and they were talking about, "You don't understand. You don't understand, Sarah. If this goes south, I'm in big trouble. I could lose my business. I'm going to have to change my lifestyle." They rattled off all the things that were going to happen if it went south. And I said, "Excuse me, did it go south? Did I miss something in the equation?" And they're like, "Well, no." I said, "Well, then why are we all the way over there wondering what is going to happen when it goes south? How about it's not going south? How about we're going to move forward and we're going to avoid the bump? The perceived possible bump does not have to be part of the experience." Do you find yourself doing that? Are you finding yourself creating all of these scenarios that you may never get to? What a waste of energy. We could be out enjoying the sun. We could be out loving nature, swimming in the ocean, enjoying family, meditating, dancing in the living room. Just like risky business. You could be doing anything. And you're worrying. and getting yourself all bent out of shape. So tonight, when we ask the question, let's put the story to the side. Let's ask the question that we feel we need to know that would nudge us in the right direction. Let's see how we can make that direct connect together. Because the one thing I've learned from Spirit, and it's a really easy thing to learn, is that the answer is always found when you realize how to ask the question. Sometimes we ask the question because we don't really want to hear the real answer, so we ask the question that won't give us the real answer. Yes, that would be for the things that you think you know the answer, but you don't really want to know the truth. This is where I quote a few good men. You can't handle the truth. But sometimes we need to know the truth. We need to understand that if we think something's not working, and we're feeling it, and we feel like we're swimming against the current, then by golly, it's not working. Abandon ship. Exit strategy. Allow the universe to show you where the other door is. Or you could use your energy, and there's really no judgment, and sit in your canoe that's got quite a few holes and keep paddling out the water. We've been there, right? All of us have been there. I had gum in every hole in my canoe at one point. I still managed to stay afloat, but now looking back, in retrospect, phew, that was a lot of hard work. I don't want to work that hard, because the universe doesn't have it set up for us to work hard, or even work smart. Get out of the mind. The mind is filled with information that has been a programmed condition of what you believe to be a truth. And that was what you were shown. But where you are in your life, what your mind believes to be true, may not be true. You see, here in front of me is a table. But is it a table? What if growing up they told me this was a bed and I could sleep here? Then in my world, in my mind, that would be my bed. A little uncomfortable, but it could be a bed. It could. So think, what is it that you would like to reprogram? Let's freeze frame an area of your life. Let's go in. Let's pick the question that unlocks everything so that we can navigate this together. Because we are in this together. And we've journeyed here for 8 years on WBZT. And those of you on WWNN 1470 AM 95.3 FM, well, I'm kind of new to hanging out with you. But shh, did you hear? You guys are going to get me all to yourself. Shh, don't tell anybody. But we're moving. We're changing. And we're really excited to be moving and shifting. And you know, if everything stayed the same, then where would the growth be? Where would the advancement be? I know. Change is a little uncomfortable. And I have to say, I had to do a double take. I was like, what? We're going to do what? And then I sat back and I said, if you keep doing the same thing and expect a different result, you're not getting anywhere. Could be insanity too, depending on what you're doing. So I thought, you know what? Universe, if you're placing an opportunity in front of me, if the universe is placing an opportunity right there in front of you, grab it. Grab it, hold it, and say, okay, universe, show me where we go from here. Because it's a journey. It's not about where you've been. Because that happened already. Yay, or boo-hoo. But guess what? It's where you are right now. And what you do to seize the moment, to be fully enmeshed in that moment, and not worry about if what I do here, is that going to impact tomorrow? Because if you're fully living this moment of now, then tomorrow will work out perfectly. And we don't have to necessarily plan everything. I know in life, in the traditional world, we do have a few things to plan. Plan for retirement, some basics. But even that, sometimes we have to wing it and trust that everything we do is going to fall in perfect order. Well, we welcome your calls here at 1-800-889-0267. live on WBZT. I welcome your questions on Facebook, and I'd love to see what your questions are on Facebook, and send them out, and we will get to your questions. But for right now, all of my callers, and we've got calls all across the United States, we're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, well, I'm going to be introducing my very special guest. So stay with us, everyone. Do not go away, because you know we're going to be right back. Hey you, did you hear the news? I'm moving on. It's time for me to leave WBCT. Hey you, did you hear the news? I'm moving on. Got a new gig on Wednesday nights from 6 to 8 p.m. on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM from 6 to 8 p.m. Are you coming with me? Hey you, I'm taking your calls on WNN. Hope you'll be joining me, and we'll keep going on at WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM from 6 to 8 p.m. You can call me right there and write this number down now. 1-888-565-1470. You can get me every Wednesday on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM. Come along with me to WWNN. I hope you join me, 'cause we're moving up. I hope you will come for the ride. Dreams are coming true for you. Together we will do it on WWNN 1470 AM, 95.3 FM. I'll see you there in August on WWNN.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. Have you ever felt alone, sensing something more is around you, but are unsure how to connect? Do you wonder if your loved ones who are deceased are among you? Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium who can connect you with your loved ones, spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. For Sarah, life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. To contact Sarah for a personal reading, call 561-682-0956 or send an email to sarah@sarahspiritual.com. You can also visit www.sarahspiritual.com for more information. That's 561-682-0956 or sarahspiritual.com. Let Spirit and Sarah raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Want to connect to the light within you? Talk to Sarah now and begin your spiritual empowerment. Call Sarah at 561-844-6167 locally or toll free at 1-800-889-0267 nationwide. You can email your questions to Sarah to radio@sarahspiritual.com.
And we are back here live on WBZT, iHeartRadio, WWNN 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. And we're connecting with all of you on so many ways. And I've got callers on the line at 1-800-889-0267. I got Facebook over here, I got Facebook over there, but somewhere over here I got a guest. And I have a very, very special guest, my very dear friend. I've had the privilege of working with Kevin Lee, Reverend Kevin Lee, and he and I have had this opportunity to do some spectacular things at the Metaphysical Chapel of South Florida, and we are excited to have Reverend Kevin here because we're going to be dialing up to the heavens, and Kevin's going to help me. I just thought, wow, let's have an opportunity to dial up and have more than one person give you some insight on your questions. And let me tell you that Reverend Kevin has dedicated his ministry to sharing the transformational truth of the community of continuity of life. And he's assisting people in their transformation. And it's really like he wants to take people back to the old-time way of being spiritual. And for you to understand the roots of spirituality and diversity, and to really feel that all roads lead to God. All roads are part of the spiritual experience, and no two people have the same exact path, but we can learn and honor each other's gifts and that which we bring to this earth to share. And he has hosted so many events at the Metaphysical Chapel of South Florida, and I was privileged to teach there and share experiences and to be a part of a wonderful event. Some of you may remember we had Sheila Gillette and Marcus Gillette, and Sheila Gillette channels Theo, and he just finished hosting Michael Murdad, who's someone we very near and dear to our heart, because essentially Kevin and I met at the Universal Lightworkers Conference. That's where we have our history, and many of the people that I've been sharing with you, it's our old family, it's our friendships. And without further ado, I really want to welcome my dear friend Kevin Lee. Kevin, how are you? Welcome.
Welcome. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us. And,
You're welcome.
And tell our listeners about what you do at the chapel.
Sure. I've been with the chapel for some 10 years now. That's when I actually, Spirit guided me down the road one day, down into sleepy little Dania Beach, Florida, and I remember driving by the chapel this one day, and I noticed the sign, Metaphysical Chapel, and I thought, that's interesting. How do those words go together? Those two words are so diametrically opposed in my world, my Southern Baptist world, my upbringing. And so what was interesting was I literally couldn't go much further. There was something magnetic in Spirit. That was the beginnings of Spirit working with me. And I realized there's that familiar feeling in my life again. And whenever I've honored that feeling, that gut feeling, that, well, what we know is Spirit coming upon you, good things happen. And so I made a U-turn. I went back and I walked into the business, made friends with the people, returned on a Sunday, and fell in love. So I've been there a good 10 years. And it didn't take me very long, but I entered into the seminary program to start learning about the world of metaphysics and all the different aspects of spirituality, spiritualism, and the world beyond, this dynamic world beyond that so many people think of as just some mythical place. It really exists.
Yeah.
I have discovered it really does exist. So as I went through our seminary program, took me for almost 5 years, and then I completed the ordination track for ministerialship. So I became a fully ordained minister, and during that time, during all that training, I also was on a secondary track for certified mediumship. So I became certified as a spiritual medium. And that took quite a bit of effort, a good 3 years of dedication, public service, and everything had to be tracked and approved. And it went beautiful. I learned so much. And so I've been at the chapel for going on 11 years, pushing towards 11 years. It's amazing. Changed my life.
Wow. You know, it sounds interesting because you and I are tracking about the same time, because I fell in love with the journey, and I made the choice about 11 years ago. It was 2006 that I opened the center.
There you go.
So again, we're in sync. We're in that flow I was talking about with everyone earlier in the opening of the show. And let's talk about that feeling. That feeling when you felt Spirit literally be birthed in you. Tell our listeners what that feels like so they can have some assistance in identifying that within themselves.
Sure, absolutely. You know, one of the things that I've learned over the years, especially even before I really even understood the word metaphysics, what I understood as a human being that was seeking that spiritual experience was that we all know what gut feeling is, right? We all know, even a mother's instinct. Everybody knows a mother's instinct, especially moms. Moms understand when their children, when their spirit is disturbed, the waters of the mind, if you will. They know that there's something not right with their child, even if that child is not even in the house, but across the country, across the world. A mother knows, because we are an extension of that great world of spirit. And so we're not really these physical bodies, we're energy beings, and because we're energy beings, we have this ultimate connection with one another. And so as a mother comes to realize that her child is in need, a mother may reach out and make that connection. But again, it goes back to that feeling, that sense that comes over you. And as you mentioned earlier, yes, there are many world religions, different paths that return us to that principle we call God. And we understand that every path is valid, and we understand within all these world religions, they all talk about the same thing. They might have different ribbons the way they speak about it, but they understand that there is that power of spirit that comes across in a way that just envelopes you. That's the best word I can come up with. It will envelope you, wrap its arms around you, wrap its wings around you, if that's what you want to view it as, but really it just encompasses you. And it literally feels like a friend. It feels like a family member. And when you allow that to wash over you, you know you are doing exactly what you need to be doing. You are in the moment, in the flow. You're with Spirit in that very moment. And the decision that you make will be of light and love if you follow that flow, if you follow that feeling. And that is the one thing that, even like I said, before 10 years ago, my whole life, when that emotion, when that spirit would wash upon you, as long as I honored it, everything went great. And actually everything was a blessing. Right. But the times when I began to think, when Kevin got in the way, because Kevin thought he knew everything a long time ago. Sometimes I still do.
Yeah, sometimes.
But when we get in the way, we block the flow. That's when we're turning our canoes upwards in that flow, in the stream, and so it makes life a little bit harder. Things don't fall into our life synchronistically, and so what we have to do is just allow that to wash over us. We step into that canoe of life. We go with the flow, as you were saying earlier, which is perfect, and then we actually begin to witness God in every moment, in every situation, in every person. God in nature, as I say so often, finding God in the moment. Whatever God is for you. God could be Allah, God could be Goddess, God could be Great Spirit, Great Father. However you want to call that principle, that one ultimate source reality. And so when you begin to recognize God in the moment leading you, that great wind behind you pushing you forward, you realize you're no longer alone in life. When you start recognizing that the synchronicities in your life are actually matching what you're thinking about and praying for, right? Calling upon. And when they begin to come forward and there's fruition, fruit in your life, spiritual fruit, then we realize there has to be a higher intelligence guiding that, and that's what we call God, Allah, Goddess, and all the many different names from all the many different great world religions. And when you do that, life gets beautiful. My life has gotten so much better when I started doing that. Whenever I turned my canoe, from the direction I thought, which was really upstream, to downstream, going with the flow, my life got so much better, and the synchronicities began to abound in my life. That was my blessing, my turning point. So when Spirit comes around you, trust. Just trust as it washes over you. It'll guide you.
It will. Mm-hmm. It'll always guide you. And it's interesting you made some of the references you did, because earlier today, I wrote something that I posted on Facebook, and it's just so appropriate. I wrote today, in the moment of now, I am collaborating with the divine mind.
Divine mind.
And I am the master of my destiny. I am already fulfilled.
Amen. That's true.
So we're already fulfilled when we're in the divine mind. And at the retreat that we had, we were talking about the divine mind.
Absolutely.
And Deerfield Beach. I mean, that was the whole premise, that if you allow yourself to be one with the universal flow, if you allow yourself to realize that you're more than your intelligence, you're more than your personality is part of your uniqueness, but you're more than all the things that you think you are, then you can do anything.
Absolutely.
And nothing's impossible. And I find it interesting because, Kevin, as a Baptist, this must be a little bit like, whoa. And I have to share with you that when I met my spiritual teacher in CompUSA, of all places,
Wow.
he was a Baptist. So sometimes I think that was part of the hook he used to kind of get me in. It's like, well, okay, little Miss Christian, let me tell you, I'm a Baptist, so I don't bite.
Right.
But then he went on and talked about all these miracles and all these great things that spirit and the spirit world could do. And I was thinking, are we burning in hell? Like, what's going to happen? Like, he really, opened my eyes. But for everyone listening, if you've been in a religious background and it's an indoctrination that you're wondering there's got to be something more, then I invite you to look and find what makes you feel comfortable.
Right.
And surround yourself with the people that make you feel comfortable. And if where you are is where you choose to stay, then that's the perfect choice for you. But for me, I knew that the journey of being baptized Greek Orthodox to going to Catholic school, to becoming a born-again Christian, now I'm a mutt,
Right.
to meeting a Baptist teacher who is going to talk to me about spiritual things and spiritual energies and spiritual baths and clearing and removal of energies and entities. I'm going, what?
Wow.
And then he quoted scripture, and he
right.
made me feel comfortable because he gave me the evidence that it was happening even back then.
Absolutely.
And he wasn't as woo-woo as at first I thought.
Absolutely.
But it's quite the journey, yes?
Absolutely. Spirit guided that minister, preacher into your life for a very important reason. That was literally the precipice of who you are today. That was the beginning
Right.
of everything you are today. And what's interesting for me, I'll tell you, the very first Sunday that as I sat in the audience at this metaphysical chapel in Dania Beach some 10 years ago, and a little lady walked out, and she went behind the pulpit, and she said, "Hello, I'm Reverend Sherry. I hope you're online, Reverend Sherry." But as I saw her, I thought, wait a minute, a woman preacher? I've never seen anything like this. We don't have women preachers in our Southern Baptist Texas churches. But I had heard of them in the world. And here was this lady coming out, dressed really nice, spoke beautifully, so poised. Her material was amazing. She interpreted, she presented her metaphysical sermon and interpreted biblical scripture from a much deeper level, a metaphysical level, which is really a study of beyond the physical. Okay, that's what metaphysics is, beyond the physical. And she actually pulled scriptural references for the various gifts of spirit and for where meditation actually is in the Bible and for where reincarnation is actually in the Bible. And she explained how not only Jesus but the 12 disciples were all mediumistic, were all healers, were all intuitives.
Right.
And they had a divine purpose. And so these individuals were given the authority by the figure, Brother Jesus as I call him, Master Jesus. And they were given the authority to actually go out and heal, to raise the dead,
Teach,
right? To cast out, teach, prophesy, and to lead the people forward through the teachings. And so this minister interpreted Scripture in a way I had never heard it interpreted, but my soul woke up in that moment, and I thought, something's burning inside me, and it reminds me of childhood whenever I was forced to read and memorize and recite publicly biblical stories and scriptures. That's a Baptist thing. And so I remembered as a child thinking, this is the most beautiful stuff I've ever read. But whenever I would ask my ministers and preachers and family members and leaders of my community, my strange questions about all of these mystical events and these mystical gifts of spirit, they wanted nothing to do with talking about it.
Right.
And that was okay, because that was the vibration that their soul needed for that journey. They weren't ready to move into higher truth. And so what I do want to clarify is that every religion has a purpose. There is no religion that I consider bad, that we metaphysicians or spiritualists consider bad. They all have a divine purpose for existing because they've all come forward through the prophets of earth. Right?
Right.
They've all come through divine revelation, through using and connecting with Source, that channeling ability, which you naturally have. We all have that. And so what I want to say is that for people who have come from a challenging background like I have, a very conservative background, where we were taught that this work was not of the highest and not for the journey of that religious path, I want you to understand that there are prophets, there were seers, there were oracles in every religion. And so those individuals were able to bring forward spiritual guidance for the people. And for various reasons, we won't get into it here, but that's a whole nother lecture and discourse of education from that phenomena. But I want to say that we're guided by Spirit through our gifts, and every single person has them. Every single person can unfold them. Some can unfold them beautifully like a child prodigy. Some can unfold them to great expert levels. Some can only unfold them to a good basic level. It just depends where we are in life. And karmically, have we earned the right to use our gifts of Spirit, these very sacred seeds, as I call them? Are we willing to begin nourishing them with water? Are we willing to nourish them with our attention and our time? Are we giving of our gifts of Spirit in a charitable way so that they do flourish? Because when we use them, we're putting them out in the light of God. We're putting them out in the world. And we're allowing them to grow and bring fruit to a community. So our gifts of the Spirit are very important, in my opinion. It's one of the big things that we do talk about quite a bit within my church. And I think that it's not talked about a lot in the world of spirituality. Let's just call it spirituality in general, because so many people are so focused on themselves, and I think we need to focus again on what has God or that Spirit given me that I can share with my community. That's having love, having faith, and having charity. It's all about that, those three. And that was Jesus' ministry, right?
It was.
Love, faith, and charity. So
Absolutely.
I love talking about those principles and what we can do to help our communities.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because when you hold that vibration of love and you're in that essence of God, to remember that we're the expression of God. We were given this physical embodiment so that we could express these gifts and more, and that we could do miracles and more. And so you may say, well, I'm only gifted in this and I can't do this. Well, I'm here to tell all of you that I've done things I never thought I could do, and were not on my list of gifts that I thought I had. And when you say, I'm here, mold me, use me, allow me to be the expression of the universe, allow me to hold the essence that is divine and be that light, you'll amaze yourself. And you don't have to worry about it being anything to do with your ego, because when you're truly that expression, that word ego steps aside, and you're just there as the conduit. And I'd love if you join me now and let's be conduits together.
I'd love to.
And let's dial up and see who's on the line.
Absolutely, thank you.
And everyone at 1-800-889-0267, I'm going to ask one burning question. I'm going to go to the phone lines, and you know what? I've got to go to Roger, and Roger's in Texas, because I know deep in the heart of Texas, we got some stuff going on. Roger, how can we assist you today?
Hi there. I had a question regarding my career and finances. I'm struggling a little bit financially, and as discussed previously, I've had some occurrences in my current job, but looking for that shift.
You've had some occurrences, and by occurrences, what I hear is you went head-to-head, toe-to-toe with someone?
Yeah, well, we talked about it previously.
But it seems to be elevating or escalating. Is that true? The intensity of the disconnect between you and the coworker, or the manager, actually, yes?
Right.
Okay. I do see increase coming, and we have talked about that, and we're talking about strategy. But what I need you to look at here, and Spirit is very clear to me, is that I know you know it's going to happen. I know you trust. However, you trust it, but the universe wants you to see it already done. This transition, this shift, this change, you have to just believe. Just believe it's happening, regardless of what's there before you. It's one of those moments where you're going to find that you have to trust who you are. You have to trust that you are good enough for everything that you desire. Trust that you have the power to create anything you want, even though it doesn't appear to be moving as quickly as you'd like. And I'm going to pass this to Kevin so that Kevin can give us some additional insight on this, because he's new on the picture. So let's see what Kevin has to say with Spirit.
Absolutely, absolutely. So good evening. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, good. So right away, Spirit is letting me know that from the financial perspective, you know how when you look at on those Yelp apps and things where it shows dollar signs, how many dollar signs the restaurants are? I see $1 sign, which means things are good and basic. So I'm comfortable right there. I don't want you to get caught up in that whole ego mind of where we edge the principle of God out, where we edge Spirit out of our life by focusing so much on the money. But I want you to focus on the 3 points in your life. The Spirit is showing me a triangle. When I see triangles, I actually see 3 points in our lives. We need to work on ourselves for a third, okay? We need to work on our job for a third, and our spirituality for a third. I feel like the triangle in my mind is very equal, so I feel as though you're actually trying to build a spiritual base in your life. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay, I also feel that you're trying to build a good career for yourself. You're moving into something where you're looking for long-term career, and so there's a third of that which feels like it's beginning to be built, but I also feel that there's some sort of the vision they're showing me, it's almost like there's potholes in the road. So I get a sense of you're pushing really hard. You know how when you run over the potholes on the road and the car jostles really hard and you think, oh, my tires. I get a sense, Spirit is saying to me that you have a direction that it's exactly the direction you need to be going on, but don't let the potholes, which is this job situation, distract you from your ultimate spiritual goal, okay? So again, build your life into thirds. Spirituality, a third. Career, a third. And then time for yourself and your own development, because I also feel like they're showing me 1 star in my mind's eye. And so when I see 1 star, it tells me that you have something like a seed star, if you will, an idea, something that you've either just planted, or you must have either journaled it recently, because I feel as though this is a very new idea of yours, but that's something that you would work on, almost like a hobby that would generate a side income on the side of your career. Would you understand what this project is you've just created?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to commit to yourself, to give yourself a third of your week. That may be a day or 2 out of the week for your hobby, this project idea that could generate income. I want you to give yourself also a good portion of the week, roughly a third, for your career track. And then I also want to make sure that you give yourself a time for spiritual development, meditation. Maybe you do yoga, maybe you walk in nature, or serve in a nonprofit. I love nonprofit and charity work. So I would highly recommend that you consider doing something that builds you up spiritually. Whatever you feel is right for you is appropriate, okay? I'm not going to tell you what to do, but spirituality is very important, because I feel like the angels, you must be praying to angels quite a bit, because I get a sense that they're also telling you they hear your prayers and they're going to be guiding you forward spiritually. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Speak to them every day.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I want to add that there is a move, all right? You are moving, all right? And when Kevin was talking about the potholes, we've got resistance here,
Yep.
all right? There's resistance with you, there's resistance within, all right? All right, so we trust we've been of assistance to you, and I thank you so much
Thank you
for your call, all right? Thank you.
Many blessings.
Thank you. Appreciate it. God
Bye.
bless you.
1-800-889-0267. We're going right back to the phone lines, and I got to go to Miami, and I've got Joey on the line. Joey, how are you tonight? Welcome.
I'm really happy. I'm happy to see my little brother just flying and soaring.
Thank
I don't know if
you.
he recognizes my voice.
I
yet,
recognize you.
but,
Hi, Joey. We have an ascended master in the house now. Joey is my buddy from Miami. He's truly an ascended master in a human body. I love my Joey.
Wonderful, wonderful, Joey. Well, we welcome you to the show, and great to have you on board, Joey. And how can Spirit and I assist you, and Kevin assist you tonight? I'm sure you've got a question for us.
I do, actually. I think I really want to hear both of you. I have so many directions. I'm spreading myself so thin.
Ah, yes, round and round you go, Joey. Where you stop, nobody knows. You remind me of my dog Sparta. Sparta
And
chases his chair.
I don't know. It says 11 years. I think it's been longer. I call him my Archangel Gabriel.
Yeah. Joey,
Because I have a vision of who he is. But
right.
for me, I'm wondering, there are so many things happening at the same time that today I said I need to get my head together.
Yes.
And focus more on my talents and see which ones I need to focus on, because can you guide me
Absolutely.
what I say, which one to focus on first?
Absolutely. So, Mr. Libra, you're out of balance, okay? And balance is important for you. And I could actually, too bad the Barnum Bailey Circus went out of business because you are the master juggler, and you always have been a juggler. Oh my goodness.
Yes,
and you know what? You've got musical creativity, you've got artistic creativity, you've got people creativity. People are drawn to you. You're like that bright light, that magnet. And I feel as if you need to organize people together for an event or a function. You're very good at putting things together. Is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And is there an event or something you're looking to build or create that you want to then duplicate, replicate, and move forward and create more and more of that? Is that making sense to you?
Yes, it's making sense to you, and I haven't been able to do it yet.
Okay,
Yes.
you will do it. You will do it. Singleness of purpose, we're lacking direction, we're lacking the ability to identify what the most important component of it is. You're getting distracted by all the activities necessary to put it off. So what is the purpose behind it? And the only person who can really answer that, Joey, is you, because you have to live this purpose for yourself. But if I were to tell you that when you move forward, you're to take many with you, you're to move forward with ease and grace, you are like the Pied Piper, and people will follow because people trust you. They trust you because they know that they can go to the bank with what you say. But at times you are your own worst enemy, Joey, because you are not holding true to yourself, believing that you can do it. You know at times, but you have to believe. So Spirit gives me 3 months, and I'm going to count them out for you. August, September, October. Happy birthday. At this point, I see business venture coming together. So we're putting people in place for a business venture, for an event. And you are meant to be a teacher. I see Archangel Gabriel with you. I know you have many gifts, many spiritual gifts. So I understand why you are so dizzy in your head, because you're feeling like you need to do everything. But I do see you writing. I see you writing a manual or a book. But they give me the word manual because you've figured out how to do some things. And it's good to show people step by step, because not only you're a joker, you're a logical kind of guy. And we need to give that information to people in a thorough mannerism. And so you're going to put some step-by-step how-to or information that you've learned over the journey of life. You've fallen many times, and now you're up. And you don't have to fall down. We don't need to be Rocky in the game here. We don't need to be in the match. You don't have to get beaten up anymore. You just need to stick to the purpose. I'm going to pass it to Kevin. Great things happening in the 3rd month, in the October month. All right? I pass you to Kevin now.
Absolutely. You know, she stole everything I was going to say, you know. How can you follow that? Well, I will tell you, she is exactly right, because I do know quite a bit about you. It's my buddy. But what I will tell you, Joey, is that when she speaks of the three, this presence of Trinity comes over me. And it's almost as though 3 is so very important, because not only is it a 3-month time span for you, but there's also a sacredness to the 3. I get a sense of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. In other words, Great Spirit, the human body, and the Holy Spirit, you know, blending together. And I do know that you do a lot of work where you call in Spirit and you try to embody that power, and you do a lot of work on yourself. But there's a sense that you're being recognized and honored for the work that you've done that is preparing. You've literally fertilized and prepared the soil for this next 3-month time period. November pushes into the 4th month, which is a cornucopia month, and that fourth month is going to be your harvest. So I feel like the event that you're actually going to be putting forward will pay off, meaning it will come to fruition and be a success in the month of November. That would be a great month to consider for a big event. 3 months is a perfect time span to actually prepare for an event. I will also say that there's a sense of teachings. Your teachings are so important. So even though this may be a fun event connecting people, you've got to have your voice and your teachings that come through you from Spirit. Those have got to be shared in some way. Maybe it's a little bit of merchandise, maybe a DVD, CD, could be a small booklet, something that she had mentioned about your writings. You're a prolific writer. Why not create something where people could go home with a little bit of you so that they could benefit and continue that transformation after the event? The theme of purple reigns very strong with you, almost like the purple flame or violet flame. And I would just say continue to do that work, okay? Do you work with purple flame?
Since the first time I had somebody laid crystals on me at the age of 22.
Oh, yes. There you go. Okay, good. And there's also a sense of ocean or beach vibration with this event. So I want to encourage...
You got me.
Okay, I want to encourage you to focus on something that is close to or somehow associated with the beach, okay?
Well,
yes,
thank you, Joey. Thank you for
so
being
much.
with us.
Love to you, brother.
Yes.
All right, there's so much confirmation I can give you right now, but I don't want to take somebody else's time.
We appreciate you so much.
Yes, thank you, Joey, for joining the show. I hope you stay with us and follow Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. I know you're best buddies with Kevin, but join our family. And by the way, I host the Violet Ray of St. Germain at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. We were gifted that in 2009. So come feel the energy at the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach.
And that's perfect, because the first day I canonized was told that I was a child of the 7th ray.
Yes.
Which is the Violet Ray.
Well, then guess what? You got a sister over here, okay?
Thank you, brother.
All right. Thank you, Joey, for calling us from Miami. Welcome. Bye. We're going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors, and then we're going to come back into the second hour. And if you're on WWNN 95.3 FM, pop on over, because we're going to stay on WVZT. Stay with us, everyone. Don't go away. We're going to be right back.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after Fox News. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and Periscope. Phone lines are open at 1-800-889-0267 nationwide.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah Spiritual, and I'm here at my Expedito Enlightenment Center. My center is at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in West Palm Beach, and we are in the Tree of Life Plaza. And the reason why I love being at my center is that my center offers such a beautiful array of products. We have spectacular incense. We have beautiful books up on the shelves that you can choose from. We have all the products that I hand blend. I actually have some of them here. I have my wonderful soulmate collection. Are you looking for a soulmate? Are you looking for someone that you can truly treasure in your heart? I am so excited for you to share with this bath all your intentions and clear your energy and set forth that which you desire. And wonderful things can happen. It's time, don't you think, for you to have that soulmate? I also have my wonderful bath from Archangel Gabriel. Archangel Gabriel, he's the messenger. Are you looking for evidence? Are you looking for messengers? Are you looking for Archangel Gabriel to come into your life? Perhaps you're a writer and you need to write that book. I would love to help you write that book by giving you some energetic boost and assisting you and opening up your path to Archangel Gabriel. I also have my spectacular dream collection. This dream bath, this wonderful dream oil I have here, and my dream mist are designed to bring about spectacular dreams and to help you remember. Are you one of those people who gets messages in your dreams? Well, guess what? This dream spray is going to assist you on that. And the wonderful part of all that is that you're going to be in this sacred space, in this protected bubble, and you're going to be in the higher realms, and you're going to retain, and you're going to sleep peacefully. Maybe you don't have the best night's sleep. Well, a couple of little sprays, let's see, oh, there we go. That's going to create the energy. And it smells spectacular. The aroma just touches your heart, and it really makes you feel that serenity, the peace of God, the spectacular energy of knowing that you are one with the Creator. You know, every Wednesday night, I have a radio show, and I am coming up on my 8th year anniversary. I can't believe it. Time is flying. But what I love about the radio show is getting to know all of you, getting to share in all of your experiences. And I've been on air for 8 years, since 2009, and the very best part of this experience is that heart to heart, soul to soul, we've been talking, we've been sharing, we've been growing. The whole show has grown, and together we have all transformed. And if you haven't listened to the radio show yet, I welcome you to join us from 7 to 9 p.m. every Wednesday night, Eastern Standard Time. And join me here live on Facebook. You can hear me on WBZT from 7 to 9 p.m. You can also now hear me on WWNN 1470 AM and 95.3 FM. I'm excited to share this expansion with all of you, and I'm so excited that each one of us gets to connect all across the nation, and now because of Facebook, well, beyond our borders, all across the world, you and I. And I know I have clients all across the world, and so I'm happy that you're going to be able to join us on a national radio show that now has an opportunity to be international. And we can all share the experience. And what do we talk about on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah on this radio show every Wednesday night? What have I been talking about for the past 8 years? Well, everything. Your questions, your comments, they're most important. But Spirit talks about spirituality, empowerment. We talk about ways to transform your life. We explore love, finances. We explore reincarnation, karma. We even explore that sense of feeling stuck and wanting to make a difference and shift in your life and not really knowing how to do that. We navigate life together. And it's such a sense of community that if you're looking for that sense of community, if you're looking for that connectivity, and if you're perhaps maybe not brave enough to pick up that phone and make the call, I can assure you that someone else's question is going to be the answer to your question. Because don't we all have some of the same questions? Aren't we all learning to navigate experiences? Haven't we all had a broken heart? Haven't we wished for something and we're not sure why God didn't answer? Well, patience. It all comes together perfectly. And I'm excited to share the wisdom, the teachings of Spirit, and to give you those messages every Wednesday night from 7 to 9 p.m. You and I, connected all across the planet, soul to soul, heart to heart, spiritually speaking with me, Sarah. And we get to understand each other. We get to know that everyone goes through the same thing. And by the way, I'd put my pants on or my pantyhose the same way you do, 1 foot at a time. There's no getting around some things. Life has a way of happening. And isn't it great to know that you've got support? Isn't it great to know you've got love? Isn't it great to know we've got each other? I've had the
Welcome back to the second hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. Another interactive hour of uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect with the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. Spiritually Speaking with Sarah is presented by the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. For the next hour, listen, call in, and watch Sarah Spiritual live on Periscope and Facebook, and share the love and light.
Yes, indeed. Dreams are coming true, and we're answering your questions here live on WBZT iHeartRadio. And did you hear? We're moving. Just wanted to make sure you knew. And Spirit was talking to me. They do that a lot in my house. And they said, sit at the piano. We're going to tell you how you're going to tell everyone you're moving, because I must have been throwing a Sunday temper tantrum. I throw them. It's like around 2 o'clock, and I'm there, and I'm like, what are we going to do about the move? How are we going to pull this off? What are we going to do? They're like, oh, sit right down, little girl. We're just going to fix it right there for you. Because I'm like, we've got people to call, things to do. They were like, just write a song. It'll be good. And that's what I did. So I'm really grateful to Spirit to making it so easy. So you see why we've got to get out of the mind, you know. And of course, I'm a Gemini. And Kevin's a Gemini.
In the house.
Yeah, so we got 4 people in the building here answering your questions. So the mind will always play a lot of tricks on you. So I've learned to tell myself to shut up. And, you know, some of my friends are really happy when I say that. They're like, Sarah, and I'm like, yeah, I know, I'm just going to shut up now. So anyway, we're going to go to your calls at 1-800-889-0267. And I'm committed Are you committed?
Absolutely.
We're going to commit to answer as many questions and as many calls as possible, and we're going to pop onto Facebook too, and I'll try not to set everything off either. So I'm going to go to the phone lines, and Joey's on Facebook, and Sharon. Let's go to Facebook for a minute. I've got Sharon Young on Facebook, Kevin, and I'm going to give this to you because Sharon Young, and you probably remember her. She's one of my students. She's asking what message you have for her. She recently relocated to, let's see, where is she now? I know she's getting ready to move, so I'm confused because she's going to go to the Carolinas, but I think she's in Texas right now. So, Miss Sharon, Kevin has a message for you. Yes.
Okay, Sharon, so right away, Spirit is bringing through the number 2. There's a sense of duality, almost as though I'm either walking side by side with someone or somebody is about to walk that path with me. Because they're making reference to you know how they have those beautiful, at the tourist shops, those beautiful pictures of 2 sets of feet walking in the sand. I get that sense around you. I get a sense of walking with purpose towards your destination. And there's also a sense that sunlight in the distance, your prayers are being answered because you must have been praying very hard recently, because I get a sense of the warm rays of that light of God washing over me. That's a sense for me that God is answering my prayers. So I want you to understand that you're I see what that is. Spirit is saying you're questioning yourself. You're praying, but you're questioning yourself. And you're not allowing Spirit to work in divine time. Trust and have faith that they're hearing you, that they're working on things as quickly as they can. They have to be built in the spirit world first before they can take physical manifested form here in the third dimension, okay? So I want you to just have faith that it's taking place for you. Your prayers are being answered. And something again about that too, the duality. Something about relationship. That's what it feels like to me. And it feels very positive and uplifting. So I want to commend you on that journey as well. And I'll leave that with you.
Right, great. And Sharon, I just want to add, don't worry about what you have to accomplish. When the opportunity presents itself, move. You'll be able to backtrack if you have to finish something up or wrap something up. I know you're a planner, Miss Capricorn. So you don't have to plan everything. Just trust and go with the flow. I've got to go to the phone lines at 1-800-889-0267. Guess what? When I answer those calls, it's time to pick up the phone and you dial in. But I've got to go to Alberto. Alberto is in West Palm Beach. Alberto, how are you tonight?
Hey, Sarah, how are you? How you doing, Kevin?
Good.
Good, very good. Thank you.
Good. Just bear with me a little. Been a little under weather.
All right.
Just had 2 really quick questions. My second one is about relationships, love. But my first one is about a financial situation that I'm involved in and been involved in for a while. Sarah knows a lot about it.
Okay.
It's coming to a close. I'm talking 2 to 3 weeks from now.
Right.
And I'm just reaching out to Spirit to see if it's going to be sufficient enough for the plans that I have, because I have some pretty big plans.
Right, right. First of all, you're one with the divine mind, okay? So we know that we're up against, humanity and people and personalities and a justice. And sometimes justice isn't justice. But trust this process. Trust this process and let it open up and let it unfold. I believe when you say 2-3 weeks that it's in the ballpark of what Spirit had said was coming, yes, originally? Spirit said it was going to close soon, yes?
Yeah, last time we spoke it was about, Spirit said about a month to 2 months, and now it's, about 2 to 3 weeks now, and it's done.
Right, okay. So we're in that window. So, and I tell people, if you get a snippet from Spirit that's putting you and saying, hey, you're on track, then trust that they've got the rest of it sewed up. And remember, you may have big human plans, but whatever comes to pass comes to pass. Whatever the amount is, the amount is. But you know what money does? Money attracts money. And if the cause is great, additional monies will come. Trust that. So don't rely on the one single outcome. All right?
Okay.
Don't put everything in that basket and say, wow, this is the only way it can all come together, my big plans. Because then you're creating a box. And you're not allowing the universe to utilize the beings that are making these decisions, right, Kevin? Because I know Kevin's shaking his head, and I can feel him going, yeah, this is it. Just be open to all the flows of abundance that are going to come your way. Relationship, there is relationship, love. There is something solid for you. But I'm going to pass this financial to Kevin so he can give you a snippet, so that he can give you a little firm foundation
I think
of
I have
this.
some
Yes.
guidance for you. Alberto, I want to say that first off that there is saintly recognition, almost like what I would consider Mother Mary, possibly even like a Mother Teresa figure that's around you, that guides you in many aspects of your life, but especially around this time, because it clearly has stirred your spirit. The emotional state seems very high and what I would say the waters are very turbulent in your mind. But what Spirit is saying first off is you've got the money in the bag. The project or whatever this is going to close. It feels almost as though I'm seeing a briefcase shutting and locking, as though I have succeeded. However, there's something that needs to be looked at as far as contractual or document wise. So I want to say that you need to, if you haven't had it looked at, or if you've been taking it a little for granted, you've got to have it looked at before you seal the deal. So if you don't have a lawyer, please do get one to look at everything, because I feel like there's something that is not in the best interest in the writing. Almost like I can see the words and something doesn't feel right to me. But I do want to say, when you mentioned the future plans that you have, this feeling of, it came upon me slow and steady, almost like the kids when they laugh and they tell me these jokes at church, and they say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
Right.
That's the only way to eat a big project. So you've got to, this project that's coming up after the close of this contractual thing, you've got to take it one step at a time, piece by piece, but it feels like it's a long-term financial, very positive and uplifting for you, okay? It's almost like something you've been waiting for is coming to be, but you've got to go slow and steady, piece by piece, step by step. Don't rush into it thinking, even if you have the money, take it slow, walk in slow to this, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alberto, for calling. And call the center. I know that you won a prize on one of our giveaways, and we still have
Yes.
your beautiful amethyst waiting for you. It's in the box. Just call the center and just give her your address so we can send it to you.
Okay, I was actually planning on stopping by to see you. So.
All right, then. That's even better. Then just know your amethyst is in a box waiting for you. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. God bless you both. Take
God
care.
bless you. Thank you. 1-800-889-0267. Let's go back to the phone lines, and I've got Brittany, and Brittany, she's in Boynton Beach. Brittany, how are you tonight?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great, Brittany, and how can Spirit and I assist you?
I actually had a reading recently, as did my husband, and we got similar things in those readings, and they were telling us that money is coming to us, so I was going to ask about that.
Okay. But did you have the reading with me or with someone else?
No.
Okay.
Somebody else.
And your husband's birthday, please?
August 28th?
Okay, yours is 10/3 and his is August 28th. Okay. Okay. I am seeing movement, but I'm feeling as if the flow of money has not been the way you wanted for the past 8 months. So that would be most of this year and the end of last year. Does that make sense to you? It's like your husband's been trying to make something happen? Yes?
I guess he's been waiting for a promotion for about that time, yeah.
Okay. Because there's something that's supposed to happen for him and it hasn't happened, and I just feel there's this lag time in it. And I feel like he's not appreciated where he is, that they're not giving him the credit that he needs to have there. I'm going to pass this to Kevin so that we can kind of share this bouncing back and forth and a feeling with Spirit, because I see money coming for you, but I feel like there's a there's a wall, there's a block, there's something else that you two have to do collectively as a couple or in your strategy together in your individual careers. So, Kevin, go ahead.
Sure. Brittany, I want to say that there's just a sense in the relationship that it's almost as though you're definitely both in alignment vibrationally, which I do want to commend you. But I also get a sense of it's almost as though financially, and maybe it's just a mind, maybe it's what you're perceiving, but there's a sense of within the mind of the structure of your relationship that you're pushing towards this goal a little too hard, not allowing it to just flow naturally into your life. There's a sense that your canoe, if you will, is going upstream, and that's where I get this sense of attention and so much effort being put into it. And what you need to do is try not to focus so much on the finances, because I feel like they're coming in steadily, but I get a sense of there's just too much mindset placed upon the principle of finances, and that's causing the karmic blockage in your life. So what I want to suggest to you is I'm just trying to listen to see what else is coming. There's just the sense that almost as though I need to carry this energy forward, almost as though I need to take it and place my eggs into a basket, not really count them, not really think about them directly, but just allow them to be carried along with me in the sense of as I go about journeying through life. So there's just a sense of I need to stop. I want to suggest you stop focusing on the finances, but just move forward, trusting that Spirit is actually bringing that into your life. And when we ask Spirit to guide us, and we let it go to God, let it to God, then there's a sense that they will take over that responsibility, and we can get on with what we're doing here in the third dimension. Okay? So I want to bounce this back to you, Sarah, because I feel like that's the end of my piece.
Yes, I just want to say one thing, Brittany. I just feel a split in direction, like you're going where the direction you both are together collectively as a couple. I see you branching out. I see a change. I see a move. Is there a thought or a conversation of movement? Are we moving?
Yeah, actually, we are separated. He's moving out. So
okay. Yeah, because I actually
still, working financially together. We're okay. We're good. But we are separating.
Yeah.
So
I've got two roads, and I've got one going this way and one's going that way. And as Kevin was talking, I'm going, well, no wonder it's out of balance. Like I don't feel like we're on the same page, and allow this to unfold. And I know you've called before, and I feel like we've talked about the relationship, and we've talked about some of the bumps that are there, but separations can be good, and it gives us a different viewpoint of things. And then we'll see where that takes you from there. And are you studying something? There's thought of studying, because they're also throwing a book in front of me. So I just want to close with that. Is that something you've considered?
Yeah, I'm going back to school next month.
Okay. Okay. So I've got a book.
The question was just to see if we were winning money. It's not really. I guess there's always a focus on money.
I'm not seeing a win, and for me it's a little off-putting at times when someone says someone else told me, because I don't know what they were tapping into when they got that message and how they got that message. So for me to kind of mine a field that I've never walked on, I can't. But I do see financial growth coming for him. I do see study for you. I do see the distancing and the division, but I feel like it's a good division. I feel like we're moving forward in both of our lives, and ultimately it's going to be better for both of you on a financial, emotional, and spiritual way. So our blessings are with you in this journey. Absolutely. And thank you so much for calling. Thank you.
Thank you, Whitney.
All right, great. Thank you. 1-800-889-0267. I am popping back onto Facebook for just a moment because I have Carolyn. Carolyn Vargas has a question here. She just wants to get a message. And Carolyn, I'm going to pass this to Kevin. Carolyn's birthday, Kevin, is 12/6/1991. And she wants to hear what you have to say for her, because I actually know Carolyn from Facebook, and she's one of my students and my clients.
Wonderful. Hi, Carolyn. So right away, there's just a sense of great joy and expectation. So I get almost exuberant with this question. There's a great sense, almost as though this year I'm going to be delivered a Christmas gift. So if you're in the process of opening your life to relationship, it truly feels like the blessing comes at the end of the year. And so you've got about, if we're now in July, we've got about 6 months, which is actually the symbol they just showed me, 6 months, which would fall right in line with the whole holiday season, festive season. So there's a sense of delivery. What I want to say to you is unwrap slowly. So when this gift comes forward, I want you to just take it easy and just be very relaxed as you move into this new encounter, this new experience, and just find the joy in the coming together of two souls. Okay? Don't put too much hope and expectation into this relationship, because the more we push a relationship, we actually we send out these ripples into the essence of being of the other person that's coming into our life that might disturb them. They might not be ready for that. And also out into the ethers, when we push so hard to make a relationship happen, we actually set up fields that Spirit cannot do or bring forward what they need to bring into our life. They've told us this. So we simply have to just let it go, give it to God, and allow the spirit world to bring that to fruition in our life, okay? So that's what I want to say to you. I'm very excited for your Christmas gift. Keep us posted.
Yes, Carolyn, thank you so much for your Facebook question, and I thank everyone for their Facebook questions, and just know that we are going to be answering your questions on Facebook, but I have to go back to the phone lines, and I'm going to go to Raleigh, and Raleigh is in Port St. Lucie. Raleigh, how are you?
Hi, Miss Sarah, and hi, Kevin.
Howdy, howdy.
Raleigh, I have something to tell you. Remember when I don't know if you were listening to the beginning of the show, but I was talking about my grandmother gave me a sign yesterday that she was with me. Well, your birthday is my grandmother's birthday, and wouldn't you know, 276 came up yesterday. So I know you missed it too. I'm sorry. I didn't call you. I'm so sorry, but
that's why I'm crying.
I know you're crying. But Raleigh, how can Spirit and I assist you? How can Kevin and I assist you?
Well, listen, great. I want to ask a question. I'm going to Ohio to the State Board for Funeral Service. This will be my 8th funeral director license that I'll be trying to get. Awesome. I just want to know a little bit about it. Is it going to be accomplished, or what's going on there?
Kevin, I'm going to pass this on to you.
I'll jump right in. Well, it's interesting because before you even began, I started writing down. I could feel a sense of movement in your life, journey, change, and move. I get a sense of something new coming into your life. A new job is what I actually circled on my piece of paper. I get a sense of achievement. I also get a sense of new money. So apparently, I don't know what funeral directors or this new title would bring you, but I feel like you're going to have some good, stable income. And I almost want to say, whew, like it's about time. It feels as though it's been a struggle financially for you. So I just want to say congratulations ahead of time, because this feels right. And I'm very proud of you for pushing yourself towards something that really you are a service in that role. That's not a typical role for someone. And you are stepping into something very, in my opinion, very sacred and very honorable, because a lot of people don't have the wherewithal, I guess, to give of themselves in a way that helps people when they make that return back home. So you're doing a beautiful job. I applaud you.
Great work, great work. You know, as Kevin's talking to Raleigh, I'm made aware of two people in the spirit world, and they step forward, mother energy, father energy. But the gentleman seems, as you know, we were talking about all your licenses to go expand. He had his hand in his pocket, and I was hearing him jingling change, and then taking it and putting it on the counter or on a table. But I feel like he's putting in something, and it's like he kind of like plays with it and looks at it. Did your father used to jiggle his coins or carry coins and then take them out of his pocket?
He sure did.
Yes, and I want you to know he's with you, all right? And it was like, it was so cool, because as you said 8, it was like he reached in his pocket and he was like counting out the coins to match the 8, but he was putting it in this little bowl that was like on a dresser or a countertop, because it's an elevated place. And then the mother figure makes me aware there's a birthday or anniversary, not your birthday, but a birthday anniversary coming up in this very short time, in this summer months, or right by September. Did someone pass, or there's a birthday anniversary coming up right now?
Yes, that's mom's birthday is
Okay.
September the 12th.
Yes, all right, and I thank her for that. I thank her for her presence. She just wanted to I guess, say happy birthday. Hey, hey, she's with you, all right?
I appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Raleigh, for following
you,
the
Raleigh.
show and me on Facebook, and thank you for visiting me at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. Much love. I know we've known you at the center for years, so thank you. God bless you.
I'll see you then. Blessings.
All right,
to you.
bye. Thank you.
Bye.
1-800-889-0267. We're going to take a quick minute to hear from our sponsors, and then when we come back, Arizona, you're up next. So don't go anywhere, anyone. We're going to be right back. Take my hand and walk with me so we can go where we'll be free and we will see the world differently. Where one heart can go. Look beyond the years gone by.
For the most extensive multicultural array of spiritual products, classes, and healing services in a comfortable and convenient setting, you must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza in West Palm Beach. There you'll find the products, services, and spiritual development classes to help you bridge the gap between you and your spiritual connection. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Habitat Plaza, West Palm Beach. Call them at 561-682-0955 or online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. For yourself or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in the Habitat Plaza, Okeechobee Boulevard, West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit them on the web at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. Have you ever felt alone, sensing something more is around you, but are unsure how to connect? Do you wonder if your loved ones who are deceased are among you? Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium who can connect you with your loved ones, spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. For Sarah, life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. To contact Sarah for a personal reading, call 561-682-0956 or send an email to sarah@sarahspiritual.com. You can also visit www.sarahspiritual.com for more information. That's 561-682-0956 or sarahspiritual.com. Let Spirit and Sarah raise you up. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Want to connect to the light within you? Talk to Sarah now and begin your spiritual empowerment. Call Sarah at 561-844-6167 locally or toll free at 1-800-889-0267 nationwide. You can email your questions to Sarah to radio@sarahspiritual.com.
Take my hand and walk with me so we can go where we'll be free. And we are back here live on WBZT iHeartRadio. And we're going right back to the phone lines. I've got to go to Arizona. And I've got Teresa on the line. Teresa, how are you tonight?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great, Teresa. And how can Spirit and Kevin and I assist you?
Wow. Okay, let's see. The best way for me to say this is...
Is there a book?
I have like a band around my core area right now, and I have a lot of financial pressure on me. And I just
All right, just take a breath.
I just did an investment, and everything I have in my living, everything is on the line. I have a good plan in place. I've been doing the plan. I've been doing my end of things. And then I have, it deals with people, and I have all these people coming back on me and blaming me for their lack of success.
Right.
They're saying things, well, no wonder you're single, you're such a B, and the B word is so easy to throw around, you know, and I'm like, I'm sorry you feel that way, you know, and I've tried not to let this whole thing get to me. I'm really good friends with Joey, who you just talked with, and so he knows a little bit about it. Not everything, because
Right.
I very rarely talk about this
All right. Well,
part of
Teresa,
myself.
Teresa, stay with us 1 second, because let me start tuning into Spirit. I hear the story, and I want to get the information from Spirit, because I understand it's, you know, it's on a little dicey edge here. But I do have to ask you this question, because the minute I heard your voice, Spirit's talking to me about a book. Are you writing a book, or is there something that you're writing?
I've been thinking about it, but I'm scared I won't get it done on time.
Okay. All right. You're going to get it. The book is going to be done. The book is part of the healing process for you. And it takes nothing for you to just be the conduit to allow it to flow through you. And this will distract the human mind from the circumstances and the panic of this fight or flight that I feel in the core area, because you are tied. And I feel as if that the investment is something that is, when it pays out, it can pay out big, but in the meantime, it's kind of a little dicey. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And I feel
I was
like...
supposed to have all this support from the company and everything, and, and you know, it's all good when they want free spiritual help.
Right.
But then when I'm like, hey, how do I do this? And can you be with me? Can you hold my hand for a second while I do this first time? And
right.
And
I've got
they're doing
two
it for
people.
other people. They're just not doing it for me.
I've got two people that are not working well with you. It's like there are two people that are supposed to be interacting with you, and they're not doing what they promised. Is there two people that you're interacting with?
Yes.
Okay. These people are... You know when people feel like, okay, I'm with you, I'm there, for some reason there's a resistance in their being and in their energy that they're there. It's almost as if they don't believe that you're going to do what you're supposed to do. You're part of it. Does that make any sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So now it's for you to go, Spirit says serpentine, go around them. We need to speak to someone else so that we can get the assistance we need to get this off the ground. Because you're supposed to be on a platform, you're supposed to be talking, you're supposed to be guiding, but you need the backers to put you there in front of people. Does that make sense to you? I don't know what you're doing, but this is the vision that they're giving me. And I'm going to pass this to Kevin. I don't feel all is lost, but there's something a little funky about this, that it's almost kind of got a little scheme, like there's something not kosher in the way they have it laid out. So this is where you're going to have to go back and read the fine print, and you're going to have to look at something. I'm going to pass it to Kevin so he can give you a bit more information on this.
All right, my dear. So what I want to tell you first of all, because I can sense, definitely I can sense in your voice, but I can sense in the spirit coming forward, that you are surrounded by angels. You must either call in the angels quite a bit, or you must work with angels in some capacity. But I want you to know they're all around you. There's also a sense sense of the either the color or the oil. I almost get a sense of lavender, the smell of lavender, which is a very calming vibration for me. When you use lavender at nighttime, it's what you use to prepare yourself to go into that state of harmonious sleep and joining with Spirit. It's not something we really start our day with because we need to energize ourselves with more yellows and oranges and even reds or higher vibrational colors and oils. What I want to say to you is you are doing this alone. That was the very first thing from the moment I heard your voice. I feel as though I'm alone doing this, and I want you to get help. How you do that is really, it mainly is up to you, but also it has to do with the sense of, I almost feel like you don't believe in yourself, but yet you're, like Sarah was saying, you're the one to be doing the teachings and you to be on the platform. It's almost as though I know everything. I've read all the books, I've taken all the classes, but I'm stuck in my human self, and I want your spirit self to shine forward. And I do want to tell you, one of the best things someone ever told me was, other people's opinion of me is none of my business. So I want you to stop listening to these other people's opinions of you and your business and your beautiful ideas and your goals. And another thing Spirit told me many times was, don't cast your pearls before swine. You know, all of your ideas and all of your business opportunities and all of your just amazing things, blessings in your life, when you cast those in front of people who are not honoring Spirit in a proper way, they will just basically trample over them and not appreciate them as much as you do. And I get a great sense that that's really taken place with you. So I want to just encourage you, really believe in yourself, let your light shine, because as Sarah said, you know this stuff. You're going to be up there teaching this stuff. So I commend you for the work that you've done so far. I can feel it in your spirit. Okay?
All right.
Thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Hang in there a little bit, Teresa. It's going to get better. I know it's a little rough road, but if I take you out, and don't shoot the messenger, but they're talking to me about November. Okay, so I feel like you're going to have to tread some water here, and then suddenly November things start to click. And you know what? Every once in a while, it's okay to be a bee, because sometimes a bee gets her done. Right. So you're going to get on the phone, and you're going to call someone, because the two people I see you talking to, they ain't helping you. So get on the phone, sweeter than sweet, bypass them, and get some results, all right?
All right.
No fear. You can do this. All right. Thank you, honey. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you.
Hi. 1-800-889-0267. And I've got to go to Elma, and Elma's in West Palm Beach. Elma, how are you tonight?
Just fine, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing great, Elma. And what is your question for Spirit and Kevin and myself?
Okay. The question is work. I'm more concerned about work.
Okay.
When am I going to start working?
Well, there was a false start. Did we start something and it didn't really pan out?
No. I've got like 3 or 4 people that are like want me, but they don't call me. So
okay, well that's a false start to me.
We haven't, in other words, it hasn't been pushed and.
Right. So that's a false start, okay? So I feel a false start. Like we're like, yay! We're not going anywhere. All right? So I want you to just push that aside.
Okay.
They're not the people. If they call you later, surprise!
Okay.
Focus on what's next. There is work coming. Patience. You're not looking at your worth. There's a sense of energy that makes me feel like at this point you want to grab at anything. There's a fear here. There's a desperation here. And I understand that you may be on the edge and where you don't want to be, but I want you to trust that if you just open your hands, the universe is going to drop you a great opportunity, a great job.
Okay.
All right? Because you don't have to clean the floors to survive. But I've got you ready to roll up your sleeves and go, I'm going to start scrubbing floors. And there's nothing wrong with that. And we've all done a thing or two, right, Kevin? We've all had to do whatever we had to do to survive. Yep. And so there's no shame or embarrassment in that. But I feel like you're feeling like I might have to do that. Don't put that out there. I'm going to pass this to Kevin so he can give you some feedback and insight on this, all right?
Elma, what I want to...
Thank you.
You're welcome, Elma. So I just wanted to just let you know that around September, something changes in your vibration, and that's about 2 months away, August, September, right. So 2 months away. I definitely want to reiterate this sense of just be patient, because everything comes to us in divine time. In other words, when you set the intention to start looking for a job or even a relationship or a new career or new what have you, say you want to go back to school, when you set that intention, you literally are creating in the world of spirit this ripple that goes out, that goes forward to the universe, and what you put out comes back to you. So you're basically sending out this signal that I'm ready to look for a job. So just be patient as that begins to manifest back in the physical. There's a sense of multiple interviews. They're reminding me of this old adage, something about 9 no's before 1 yes. You may have multiple interviews. You may get 9 no's, but just remember that with every no, you're 1 step closer to the yes. So I want you to just have faith in that process, and every day include in your morning meditations and that state of vibration. I want you to just confirm to yourself, but affirm with spirit, that you're blessed. You've got 2 beautiful feet, 2 beautiful hands, a beautiful mind, that you're able to actually go into work. Not everybody's blessed with that, and so just come from a vibration of gratitude that I am going to step into this job no matter how many steps I have to take. I want to say also, don't count your chickens before they hatch, because there's also a sense of what seems like a good deal or a promise that's coming forward. Don't bank on it. Don't jump ship or jump right in. Take it very slow and make sure all your T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, because there's a sense of looking at the details with what they put forward to you in that offer. Okay? Pay attention to the details in the offer. Something about the details. It could be hours, it could be days of the week, it could be money, but something about the T's and the I's, so they're referencing fine details in the final negotiations, okay?
Okay.
Many blessings,
thank you.
Elma.
All right, Elma, keep us posted, honey. God bless you.
I will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi to everyone on Facebook. Thank you for your questions. Keep them coming. And as you're asking your questions here, let me see. Linda Flanagan has a question. Hi, Sarah. My birthday is 2/20/57. I was wondering, I have had cardinals around me a lot in the last 6 months. Is someone reaching out to me? Absolutely, Linda. That is definitely a sign from heaven. And you know what? I love when I see a cardinal. I know I've seen a lot of them, and sometimes they have to do with relationships and loved ones on the other side, and sometimes even marriage, too, depending on your marital status. I know I saw quite a few cardinals this week, so I don't know. But Kevin, what can you share with Linda and her seeings of her cardinals?
That's so funny, because I was looking at a picture of a cardinal in my car before I walked into the radio studio this evening, so that's interesting. Well, I will tell you this. When Spirit brings, I want you to understand this. A spirit person has not entered a cardinal who has entered your life. So when say you're at home and suddenly a cardinal flies to the window, it's not necessarily that it's your best friend who passed into spirit that is inside that beingness of the cardinal at the window. It is that the intelligence, the consciousness, the spirit of your loved one, your friend who adored those birds would bring that bird, mind to mind, bring that bird to your window to get you to say, oh my goodness, my best friend, my family member who's now in spirit, they loved cardinals. So I just want you to understand that they will guide them into your life. I want to say that you're also in the vibration of a 7 in your life path, which is a state of completion. You've just completed something very beautiful in your life. It's almost as though I've just jumped off of a precipice and new things are happening in my life. Would you understand this big change? Would you, Linda?
Well, she's actually on Facebook.
Oh,
so,
sorry.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
That's
and
okay.
There's just a sense that you have just taken flight. And so it's interesting that this symbology of this red cardinal has come up, because what are cardinals? But they definitely are very strong-willed, spirited creatures that know exactly where they need to be. And I find them to be so purposeful in my garden. They're there for a reason, to remind me of something. And when I see a cardinal, I know that the spirit's always around me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're always there.
They're very purposeful.
And they're very strong animal totem as well. Yes. All right. So, Linda, thank you for your Facebook question, and we appreciate that. And we are going right back to the phone lines. And I've got Carlton in Fort Lauderdale. Carlton or Charlton, how are you?
Charlton, hi. Greetings.
Greetings.
I'm well, thank you.
Good to have you here. Welcome. And how can we assist you tonight?
Well, for the most say, thanks to you and Kevin for this positive energy vibration. I just tuned in, turning the dials, and I got stuck. So
Good.
You got stuck.
Yeah.
Yes, well, I'm happy to be stuck with you, honey.
All right. Yeah, I just wanted some direction, if you will, going forward. Right now, I mean, seems like I'm canoeing upstream, and so I just, want to be in the Most High's will and just, moving forward.
So, the first thing that I'm being made aware of is that your birthday's in April, but when I go back to last April, last year's birthday in 2016 to this year's birthday, it's almost as if you got frozen in time and nothing has really moved, and you thought you would have made some progress, and it's like you're looking at the clock, the time of life, and you're saying, oh my God, life is passing me by and I still have to do this, and this, and you're not moving in the direction you want. You're feeling stuck, you're feeling stagnant, and you're feeling as if you're not having your purpose fulfilled in life. Does this make sense to you?
Yes, yes.
And it's not that you're ungrateful or appreciative of what you do have, because it's not that you're feeling. It's just that there's more for you and you're reaching for it, but it just seems to not touch your fingertips. And there's a belief barrier that you have to break. There's an old programming, a paradigm they make me aware of is you've got to work hard to get somewhere. So you've got some old programming that it's time to break. And I also feel that there was a failed relationship that is also holding on to you as well. I'm going to pass this to Kevin so that he can give you some insight on this as well.
Okay, Charlton. So basically what I'm sensing right away is that there's just a sense of getting back to the basics spiritually, almost as though I've been so caught up in this turbulent life that I have forgotten my spiritual self. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I've been there and done that. I've been on this journey for a while. But what I want to say is it's almost a sense of I want to set up just a period of, just a small amount of time, maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, a point of gratitude every morning or a point of gratitude every evening before I go to bed. And I want to set up a little sacred space in my home. I get a sense of you have one, but it's covered in cobwebs in the sense of it's not really being used and honored. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So there's just also a sense of give yourself a time every day where you can, and hopefully this word doesn't scare you. Some people don't like this word, tithe. Tithe back to yourself a portion of that beautiful time of your lifetime that God gives us every day so that we can do things in the world. That's why we exist in physical form, is to actually bring God forward in different ways, different expressions on our different paths through our different religions to help one another. We are literally God in expression. So let's be grateful for a little bit of the time that we've been given in our life. And I want you to just say, Spirit, God, angels, whomever, I am so grateful. I give to you the small portion of my morning, of my evening, and I actually just want to lift this up and get back in that vibration. When you start doing that, you're turning your canoe from upstream downstream, and you'll start to see that life, the blessings, the synchronicities come a lot more faster and a lot more fruitful in your life. Life gets easier, sunshine. They're showing me rays of a sun. So that's what I feel like has been lacking, and that will get you back in the right direction.
All right, Charlton, I
Thank
trust
you,
I've been of assistance to you.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
You both are awesome. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you, buddy.
And this is your
It's a
first
blessing.
time tuning into the show, is that correct?
Yes,
All
it is.
right. Well, you be sure to visit us every Wednesday night from 7 to 9, and then in August we'll be on from 7 to 8 on WWNN, all right? So join our family. We welcome you.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Charlton.
Thank you. We
Bye.
do. All right.
And we're going right to the phone lines, and let's see. We've got Jessica, and Jessica's in Broward. Jessica, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. I'm alive, and I'm very grateful.
Amen.
And thank you, sir, for asking.
Yes. All right.
Hello?
So, yes, we're still here. Anyway, Jessica, what is your question for us?
Well, yesterday I had a very traumatic incident. I was involved
hit into an accident.
Yes.
I'm very grateful to be here, but I understand that's created a lot of shifts in my life. My car, is no longer transportation to work, physically. So I just wanted to ask you, and thank, I've been giving gratitude to say that.
Right.
But
so Archangel Michael stepped in. Archangel Michael stepped in. All right?
Thank you.
Because the way that you were hit, you were not as damaged physically as you should have been. This is true, yes?
Yes.
And they give me a T. I don't know what the T has to do with it. I don't know if you were T-boned or something, but they're talking to me about a T. Were you at an intersection or a T? There's some... What happened there?
No, I was hit literally like out of left field. I was on the highway and I spun out and I crashed into the wall.
And I don't know, something ended up in a T, or if there's something there, I don't know what, maybe the wall is what stopped you?
The wall, yeah, I guess a slight T, maybe a V, a little bit shaped like a,
okay.
Car in my wall. Yeah,
so this is because they show this T and then bam, we're right here, all right?
I hit 3 times, yeah.
All right. So the person wasn't paying attention, yes?
Yeah, they were.
Okay.
They were reckless.
Yes. So this is a situation where the universe steps in, God steps in, the angels step in, because it wasn't your time. All right?
No.
And you narrowly missed several other cars in this transition, right? And the minute I heard your voice, I wrote the word accident. All right? So that energy is still there. So first it's to release the fear. It's to release the fear. The physical body will heal.
Yeah, I've been saying I'm not broken and I'm not bleeding and I'm alive and I'm breathing.
Your physical body is just jostled, justed up. It's like there's injury to every part of your body, but I don't feel like anything's permanently damaged. All right. What I have here for you is that this T also represents the stop sign of life, because you have to look at what's been going on the past 3 months, all right? And we only have like minutes to cover this with you. But in the past 3 months, there's been a lot of things that you've been reflecting have been out of sorts in your life. Is that correct? And you're realizing you need to make some changes, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
Take a look. Take a look, because the past 3 months, so I'm going to go back to May, June, July, but I actually want to move back a little bit to the end of April. You've went through some transitions, and there's time for redirection. There will be redirection. I'm going to pass this to Kevin for literally 60 seconds and see what he wants to add to this for you.
All right, Jessica, my dear, I want to let you know that this was, there's a reason that there was karmic release and why this took place. It's not that you did anything wrong. It's just it was a release of energy within your spirit. I also feel that there was a man in the spirit world that protected you. Did you feel a presence in the car?
When I saw the wall coming and my wheel was locked, I let go of the wheel and I was like, I'm in your hands, and I just let go.
Yep, you literally were protected, because I feel that there was a very strong male presence with you. I'm not really picking up yet if it was Archangel Michael, but I do know that Archangel Michael is always at our beck and call to protect us, especially in situations of tragedy and things like that, difficulty. So I want you to know you were definitely protected. You did exactly what you needed to do, because in that moment you let your light shine, your true light, and it's because you were doing something that had karmic repercussions. In other words, you released something in that tragedy, if you will. This is the beginning of new stage. It's almost as though they show me an egg being cracked, and then a life is birthed from this. Even though this is a traumatic experience, it's the beginning of something good for you. I would just want to say, especially for therapeutics, go home and love yourself. Love yourself. You know how when we take I love a good Epsom salt bath with rose oil or beautiful smelling salts. Do some healing work with yourself with candles and crystals. Get a friend to help you. Where 2 or more are gathered, God is present. And that's what you should do to really lift up your spirit and get over that turbulent experience that you've just had, all right?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much for joining us on the show, and so happy to have you here with us in physical form, and we will send the angels and Archangel Raphael to continue the healing for you. God bless you, sweetheart.
God bless.
Thank you.
Honey, God, it's just...
Well, Kevin, it's flown by, but thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, you're welcome.
Thank you, and quickly give everyone your website so they can find you.
So if you would like to come to my church in Fort Lauderdale, it's metaphysicalchapel.com. If you'd like to find me on the internet, you can look me up at kevinleemedium.com. Of course, I'm on Facebook, so you can find me there as well. Sarah Spiritual, thank you for having me on your show. We'll see you soon.
You're welcome. God bless you. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Good night. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 7 till 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate life. Listen and call in next week and let Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at sarahspiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual and follow her on Instagram. Tune in next week for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
WBZT West Palm Beach, an iHeartRadio station.
A show of solidarity in the fight against terrorism. I'm Jane Metzler, Fox News. President Trump and the First Lady on Air Force One and heading to Paris.
The president traveling here after accepting an invitation from French President Emmanuel Macron to attend a military parade on Friday. Bastille